Happy Monday, everyone. Have you been making? I hope so. But sometimes, you don't get to make because you're busy. But as long as you're doing something that you love and they're happy, that's all that matters. I'm Leah of Pygmy Tiger Knits YouTube channel and also on Instagram. I'm an avid knitter, mother, wife, crafter of all things. And this is my podcast. Welcome. First, I have to say, I am extremely surprised by how my subscribership is growing. Thank you. It makes me feel really special. And I'm so sorry about the glare on my glasses today, but my eyes were getting very itchy from my contacts, so I needed to take them out. It's awesome. It makes me feel so good. So thank you, those of you that have subscribed, liked, shared, and if you're new, thanks for joining us. Hopefully you see something you like and you also like, share, comment, subscribe. This has been really fun, and it's nice to have this outlet for me to share what I love so much, what I have on my brain, what I'm making, creating. Hopefully this is a space where others can comment and share their creative juices and things. So it's been really fun. Thanks. I didn't drink enough water today, so very, very thirsty. I don't really know where to start today because I'm just sitting in piles of stuff here. I have my little ornament that's full of a box, and then I have project bags over here. So, I mean, I guess we can just get started with acquisitions because some fun things have come in the mail. So, as you guys remember, when I was at the Lamb & Kid on Bainbridge Island in Washington, I picked up these two skeins of Diamond Lane. These two. This one's called Taffy HD and this one's called Tattersall. And I'm loving these two together so much. But it's only 50 grams each, and I want to start designing. I have two designs in mind, one for these colors and one for the colors I showed last week. So I needed a little bit more, and I reached out. Don't ever hesitate to reach out or send an email to a dyer or company. Most small businesses like that will respond. In my experience, almost everybody responds. There's only been one or two chances where they haven't. So they were like, yeah, we can dye that up for you. So that arrived in the mail today, and I was super excited to go to the mailbox. But when I opened it, I thought, that looks a little bit different. And just now when I sat down, I was like, that pink is does not look the same. And look, it's because it's not. It's a different color called Pop Rocks, which is super beautiful. I mean, hot pink, like who goes wrong? But I needed the lighter pink. So I did email them and hoping to figure out what that's gonna go. So this is gonna be something yummy. Something yummy this way comes. Let's alter a Harry Potter quote, shall we? So that came in the mail. Yay. Some other things that came in the mail. So something I sadly forgot to mention last week about the Fiber Festival is while I was busy talking to Ruth about my cool basket and all of her other works, a very nice, kind lady walked up to my husband who was in charge of the kids in the stroller wagon, and they gave them each a little ball of roving. And I was like, and Brenton doesn't remember their name. He doesn't remember what company or shop they're from. So if that was you and you're watching, please comment below so I can thank you. And the girls were having fun, and I thought, oh man, I'm not a spinner. What are we going to do with roving? And I thought, duh, let's do some needle felting. So the girls have started making handmade Christmas ornaments. So this one, I don't know who's now. I don't know. So handmade little Christmas ornaments. And I also used some little bits of old scrap yarn in there, and scrap yarn to be the hanger. So if you've never needle felted before, it's really oddly very satisfying stabbing something repeatedly with a needle. It's also very like rhythmic, and it makes like this little crunch, crunch, crunch. So needle felting is with a serrated needle, and it locks the fibers together. So what we did, I used a cookie cutter and set it on my piece of foam, and the kids put in their bits of roving that they wanted, and then I helped with them hand over hand stabbing. I think Edie will get a little bit better on it independently. That I was very clear about, hey, serrated needles are gonna hurt if you poke yourself. And so about halfway through layering, like you put some in, you punch, and then you put some more roving on and punch, put some yarn bits, punch. Same thing with the hanger. About halfway through, we put it in there so it locks into each other. And then you pulled it off, and I did do a little bit of cosmetic work. Hi, Charlie, on the back. So they made those ones. This one's supposed to be a snowflake, but it ended up more like a flower. My husband helped Lucy. My husband even did this. Like, how cool is that? He made a really cute. I should have grabbed it. Sorry. Hey, babe. Yeah. Will you grab me your magnet that you made? Please. Thank you. So he did needle felting. So hers looks more like a little flower instead of a snowflake, but I love it. And this is one that he did with her. Like, look, look at how much difference in thickness. So funny, but loving that my husband's getting into the fiber arts, and my father-in-law actually got into it too when he was over for dinner. And here's the one I made, a little tree. So super fun idea. I mean, you could do these for any holiday, and don't hesitate. Like, I mean, I don't know how you guys are with Christmas colors, traditional, if you're a red, green, white kind of person, but so we just started making. So they're on my little mini birch Christmas tree back here, and Edie, my eldest, is like, Mom, that's not for your tree, it's for our tree. And I was like, well, your tree's not up yet. When it goes up, then we will put it up there. I have multiple Christmas trees in my house. I love Christmas. So oh, see,
here you go.
Thanks, babe. So here's his little pumpkin guy that he made, and he glued a magnet onto it, so now it's on the refrigerator. See, he did really good on the edges too. He listened to me, the art teacher. He listened when I was like, if you kind of wish it up a little bit and use the edge of the needle and kind of drag it and poke. So he did a really good job too. Of course, Halloween theme, not Christmas, but hey, whatever floats your boat. It's really fun. So that was really fun. And like I said, I have lots of trees in the house. I have my main tree in the living room that's, you know, themed. And then last year I got the girls one for the foyer, and it's full of like their handmade ornaments and ornaments they've picked, and we made a colorful paper chain, and it's honestly probably my favorite tree because it's so precious, and they're just so excited about it. And so this little nook out here, I think I'm going to try to do Vlogmas, so I'm sure I'll give you a house tour. So because they were getting into needle felting, I was like, ooh, I should probably order a couple other things. So if you have never heard of this company, it's called Felted Sky. They're out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. I had the pleasure of meeting them when I got to go to TNNA, which is the National Needle Arts Association. I got to go to their big conference. They have 2 a year. I don't know if it's really going anymore though, because they had a huge drop in membership during COVID. I think they're kind of on hiatus, but my Aunt Brenda, which is actually my husband's Aunt Brenda, she has a yarn shop down in, is it Foley? Can't be Foley. Brenda, I'm so sorry. What is the town? Is it Foley? Oh man, it's called Southern Twist Yarns, but she let me come with her because it's an event that's for people in the industry. So I got to go with her as part of her shop and take classes and see the whole expo. It was really, really, really cool. So I met these guys there, Felted Sky, and got a couple needle felting things originally. So I knew exactly where I needed to go to order from. So I ordered a new foam mat because the one that I'd originally gotten was years and years ago when I was at an art teacher conference, and it's like dried out and crumbly, and it was actually kind of coming off in the ornaments. So I ordered the Felter's burlap mat. So you fill this with rice and it just becomes like a more stable area and less likely for your felting to attach to it. So I got to get some rice dough to fill that up. And I also got some felt balls, and I'm going to make ornaments out of these. So I also bought, I had my gallbladder removed in January, just shortly after Christmas, emergency style. And while I'm in the hospital, you know, COVID, nobody can visit you. I was there for a week. There was a lot of knitting that happened, and also a lot of surfing on the internet and online shopping. And so I was lucky enough to score a white Christmas tree on clearance from Lowe's. And then the girls also got a metallic pink Christmas tree for their room, which obviously haven't made it out of the boxes, but I mean, $30 for a metallic pink Christmas tree, you bet your ass I bought that for my kids. I'm so excited. So anyway, we're in need of some new ornaments, both for the white tree that will go in my bedroom and their pink tree. So I got these that I will adorn and embellish with some other needle felting. So they sell all kinds of roving in these cute little bundles that you can use. I'll open my other thing up and show you. So they sell that. They sell what they call, I think, coloring with wool. So you can buy kits like this. And this is basically just a pizza box. And this one's a poinsettia pillow. I mean, hello. That needs to happen in my life. So this was a seconds one, so it was not as not full price. And like, look at these little stickers. It's just wrapped so pretty. So it comes with a little booklet. Like, here's some other things that they have: needle felted pillows, and here's some of their painting with felt. And it's really cool because they fell down. They print it, the design, on your fabric. They print it on there, and then you get your little tubey of needles. So she has, how many needles do I have in here? I have 4 needles, and then I have all my little rolls of wool that I will need. So I can just look at this, grab the color I need, and felt away, and I will have a beautiful handmade poinsettia pillow. And honestly, I can't see anything wrong with this. Like, in the listing, it said like there was like some spots from the printer on some of, oh, there. Here's like a blue dot. One little blue dot. Oh, there's 2. 2 little blue dots on the back of the pillow. Who cares? So super cool. I have some of her other pieces too, but they are not with me. They're downstairs in my sewing studio. So had to show you that. So super, super, super cool. Super fun. Anybody can do this. Really, really fun. So that's something that came in the mail. And this week I also realized, well, at the end of the last week, I realized it was finally starting to get crisper in the mornings. But sadly, we're in like an Indian summer right now, and it's in the 70s. And I'm like, oh my God, go away. I'm sick of sweating. I want to wear jeans. But it did make me realize that for my kids needed their new winter hats. And I really do like making them new hats every year, which, I mean, I don't have to. It's just they've all been in this stage where they grow so fast. And also they have different tastes. So I do believe in hand-me-downs. Sweaters definitely hand-me-down and go from kid to kid in this house. But hats, it's such a low time commitment and a low yarn commitment that I absolutely cater to what they like, their colors and whatnot. Same thing with sweaters. I'll kind of cater a little bit here and there. Like Miss Lucy really loves green. There's some green yarn right there on the shelf that has her name on it. And also there's a blue set in here, I think over here for Edie for a blue sweater, because those are their colors. But so I ordered from Loopy Mango. So Loopy Mango is in LA, and it's Italian merino. And there's all kinds of designs, all kinds of patterns, all kinds of everything. But so they have that super big chunky that I was showing you before for my Christmas scarf, but they also have a worsted weight, which is spun the same way. The stitch definition on this is spectacular. It's nice and fluffy, holds lots of air, so it'll keep you really, really warm. So this is the worsted weight. So Edie got blue, of course, and Maggie's getting purple, because, you know, she's only 1. She can't voice her true opinions yet. And of course, Lucy is getting green. And I really like the Edward, why am I saying Edward? Because I always think of Twilight when I think of this pattern, because it's called the Cullen Ear Flap Hat. And Edward Cullen is the name of one of the main characters from the books in the movie Twilight. Sorry, I read Twilight. I zoomed through those books so fast when they were coming out. Not when they were coming out. I heard about them when I was working at camp out in Washington. And I bought the first one from the used bookstore, like, why not? Let's try to relate to the campers and what they're talking about, whatever. I read it so fast that I had to go back to the bookstore and get the rest. So that's why I always think that. But it's the Cullen Ear Flap Hat. And if you're a mom or you haven't been well, you are a mom, but you know, your kids are grown, you're knitting for your grandkids, or you're not a mom yet and you're knitting as a gift for somebody, I highly recommend the Cullen Ear Flap Hat, because ear flaps over their ears and it ties. So you can tie it on and less likely to lose it stays in place, the whole gamut. The fit of it is really nice. Even if like my girls have their hair up in pigtails or whatever, there's still plenty of room in the hat. And I'll show you when I'm done, of course. I really like to do 2 pom-poms because then they have these little like ears. Oh my God, they're so cute. We get compliments on them everywhere. And I really love putting super bright colors on my kids. Number 1, so I can see them. And number 2, if something does happen to fall off, then it's easy to find because it's very bright. Now, Maggie's is a little bit darker than normal than I usually go for, but hey, what you gonna do? And then I also got this sage color, which is so pale. It's a very, very pale green. My best friend Shannon, her little sister Heather, is expecting her first little girl. She already has a little boy. And come to think of it, I should probably make Nash a hat too so he doesn't feel left out. But she's expecting a little girl named Lily Jo in November. So I think Miss Lily Jo needs a hat. So that is all set, ready to go. The other thing that came from Loopy is I got the other 3 skeins that I need to finish my scarf. So that's on my agenda as well. And it's living in, believe it or not, this is in this giant bag has 6 skeins of that in here for that scarf. So I want to get it done and be all cozy. And oh my God, I cannot wait for December 1st. I think instead of December 1st, I'm going to just bust out everything the day after Thanksgiving. That's when I feel like super Christmassy. Is traditionally when I start putting up the Christmas tree and start decorating if I'm not going Black Friday shopping. And really, I don't go Black Friday shopping, but my good friend, best friend here in Midland, Kim, she really loves going Black Friday shopping, and her and I have gone. We went, did we go last year? No, because it was COVID, but we went the year before. So I don't know if we'll go this year or not. It's totally fine. I'll probably go. So the other thing that came in the mail, do you guys ever order things and totally space and forget that you ordered them, and then they arrive and you're like, did I order this? Did somebody send me a Happy Mail? Like what? I had that occurrence happen today. Or not today, it was a couple days ago. And I got a package from Huloco. This is Nicole Huloco. She's in Colorado. She's a fantastic dyer. And her name says it all. Huloco, crazy color. So sadly, her best friend passed away this summer. Her name was Laurel. Passed away unexpectedly in her sleep, which is just, as a parent, especially a parent of young kids, that is just heartbreaking to me. So Nicole decided to dye a memorial colorway for her, and all of the proceeds and profits went to her best friend's family and her kids. So, and it was a mystery, didn't know where you were getting, and I jumped on that because anytime to support something like that, and especially a young mom who passes in the family. So this is that. It's not necessarily my colors, it's growing on me. I really love the contrast minis. We'll see what that's gonna be. It might live in stash for a while, it might be a giveaway, I don't know. Now, dun 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 dun, the stash squisition I'm most excited about this week. And I'm gonna try really hard to not have a stash squisition next week and just keep knitting with what I got. I finally scored this colorway from the Wool Baron. Here's her logo on her sturdy stock base. It's called Beat the Heat. Oh my God. She does 50 gram skeins and 100 gram skeins, and the 100 gram skeins were already sold out. So I bought 3 50 grams because I do anticipate making, you know, a pair for me, maybe a pair for somebody else, maybe a pair for the girls. I don't know, but oh my God, this neon, it makes me so happy. And one of the stripes, it's self-striping. One of the stripes is speckled, which I love a speckled stripe and a self-striping. So this, oh, so excited. Super excited about that. It'll be really, really, really fun. That's it for stash acquisitions. Let's do FO. So you guys already knew that this was an FO, but now it's a really, really, really FO because it is blocked. Look at the drape on that. It is blocked. And I wove in all the ends. So it is ready to go. I mean, just look at that. Oh, it's like a blanket. When I had it out on the floor blocking on my mats, Brenton, my husband, was like, that's a blanket. That's basically a blanket. If you would have made it a little bit wider, it would be a blanket. It's almost like, do you know prayer shawls and lap blankets like that that they make for people that just are over their legs? It's about that size. So, yeah, different ways you could wear it. Here you can make it a little bit fuller. I just really like it just like that. And it's so soft. This was knit out of the Plucky Knitter Primo Fingering, which is a merino, and oh, it's just, it bloomed, and it is the nicest, softest fabric. And it really, like, this is probably 4 skeins knit up. I have the leftovers right here. But oh, it's not super heavy on your neck. It's satisfying. So we got that done. Dun, 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 dun. So it's a bit of a crazy week in our house. My husband was out of town, not 1, not 2, but 3 nights this week. Monday night he was gone, Tuesday he came back, then he left, Wednesday was gone Wednesday night, then came back, then he was gone Friday night. So I was in need of a little bit of a mommy break, some mommy time. So on Sunday, I slept in, he took care of the kids all day long, and I sat and knit. And I finished my Christmas in July sweater from Tanis Fiber Arts, knit in Huloco, and her Sexy Christmas Color Riot mini kit. And this is called Snowshoe, which is basically, I'm pretty sure it's undyed, but I don't know if she does something to it. So I got, no, not 1 sleeve, but 2 sleeves done. The last thing to do is weave in all the ends, which I will do this week, and block. So I'm gonna block mine first. Remember, I'm making 3 more of these, 1 for each of the girls. So, but if I thought in my head, oh, wouldn't it be fun to block all 4 of them at the same time? But I don't know if I'll have enough room on my blocking mats to do that. So I'm gonna do mine first. I know I have enough room for all of theirs. So I got mine done. I'm very excited to block it and see how it blooms and my stitches lay out. I'll show you after I'm done. Something I really enjoy about this sweater is I love a tubular bind off and cast on. So it was knit top down, so it's a tubular cast on, which makes it just kind of like rolls the edge a little bit. Like it's a tube, it's if there's a faux tube in there. And it just makes it look so much more polished and professionally made. So this, maybe not by next week's podcast, but definitely the podcast after, this will be completely finished and blocked. And I'm just, oh my God, the color. And it was so funny. As I was working on this last night and getting that second sleeve done, I was thinking about the girls, and I was looking at the pattern and getting everything in the bag ready to just cast on theirs, because that'll be the next sweater cast on. Is I'm going to do Edie, Lucy, Maggie. So where they go size down, so it'll feel like they just start flying even faster off my needles. I thought, well, this is kind of funny because Edie and Lucy definitely have their colors. Edie blue, Lucy green, and I've always kind of imagined Maggie purple. And there's blue and green, and this right here is a purple. So for their collars at the start, I can use those casting on, and it'll be really easy telling whose is whose size-wise. So I'm really excited about that too. Sorry, my phone is dinging. Some of my knit friends are texting. I need to be like, leave me alone. I'm podcasting. So that's in the works. So those are my FOs. In progress, I have one more Christmas sock going. This is pair number 24. Halfway done. I haven't cast on. Well, actually, that's a lie. I cast on last night, but that's all I did. I literally just cast on. I didn't do anything else. I started getting tired, and so instead I was sorting bags and stuff. So this is called Christmas Lights. I mean, look at the fun speckles in there. So 2 different shades of green, and then fun speckles, Christmas lighty speckles. This is from Night Owl Fibers. I can't stop with her yarn, you guys. It is their yarn, actually. It's a mother-daughter duo who dye and come up with these colors. Hi, guys. They're very, very nice. They have their own podcast, so go ahead and go have a watch, a listen. Well, it's a watch, not a listen, but I like to listen a lot to podcasts instead of just watch because I have 3 kids I'm chasing around. So I really like this. I didn't realize when I bought it that the 2 greens were different, but that was just a happy, happy surprise. So excited about those. I will get those done this week. Wouldn't it be amazing? No, by next podcast I won't. This is kind of fun. It's fun telling you guys what I'm working on and when I expect to be done with it, because it's almost like being accountable. You guys are making me accountable. I'm making myself more accountable when you voice something. We have some plans to do this weekend, so I don't get to knit a ton this weekend. So I only have about 4 more days left of the week. So I anticipate getting this pair done. I will not be getting a second pair done this week. I will get this pair done. Maybe the scarf. I forgot the word for scarf. Who does that? Scarf, and cast on one of the girls' sweaters. That will happen for sure this week, as well as hopefully their hats, because we might need them this weekend. We're gonna be outside a lot, so hats are a thing. So scratch that. So probably instead of the scarf, hats, sweater, sock. We'll see. The other thing I've been working on, so my local yarn shop here in Midland is called Stranded Yarn Shop and Coffee Shop, and I start teaching soon. So if you're local to me and you want to start knitting, go ahead and sign up for my class. It's a beginning knitter class. So I've been working on the sample for class. So this is it. It's just a square. I have to seam it. So it's going to be a wrist warmer. It's going to wrap around. So I have to seam it. So there's lots of things to learn for this. There's cast on, knit stitch, bind off, and some seaming. Of course, I'll also teach purling in class. This yarn is really nice. It's a Plymouth yarn company. It's their worsted superwash merino. So it feels really, really squishy. So this one is done. Well, knit part done. I still have to seam. Working on this one. I'll get that done tonight after I podcast and get it done so I can drop it off at the shop tomorrow so they can have a sample. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about? Something else that's on my docket to do. So this sweater, oh my god, it's so cute. This is called the Antler Sweater from Tin Can Knits. And if you don't know about Tin Can Knits, oh, you should. So Tin Can Knits is 2 best friends. One lives in Canada, the other one lives in Britain, and they both lived in Canada, then one moved to Britain, but they collaborate and they write patterns and books, and I highly recommend them. They have amazing video tutorials to go along with their patterns. They're very, very size inclusive. Like this sweater, the Antler Sweater, goes from 0 to 6 months up to 4XL. I mean, come on. So you can make matching sweaters for the whole family. They love a lot of good color work. They have a book and pattern called Strange Brew, which is a lot of color work patterns, and also learning how to design your own color work pattern. Lots of good baby knits, lots of blankets, socks, hats. They kind of do it all. They're very clearly written. They're great for beginners. So this is one of theirs. is called the Antler Sweater. So cute. And this is knit in Brooklyn tweed in the colorway called Thistle. So Edie used to wear this. This was very early on in my sweater knitting career. Knitting baby sweaters is a great place to start if you're intimidated about doing a sweater, because you learn all the construction. The yarn commitment is little, the time commitment is a lot less than it would be for an adult sweater. It's a great handmade gift. And I do believe this was knit bottom up. So this is an interesting construction because then you knit the arms and the body, and then you pick up all the stitches and finish the yoke. The yoke is this part of the sweater from the armpits up to the neck. And I love a good cable. This was such a fun cable. So I knit Edie's first, and I did this one as the swatch for mine, but I did not know how to measure myself properly, so mine ended up huge. It's downstairs in my knitting or in my sewing area, and my mom likes to throw it on when she's sewing to keep her warm, but it's huge. I honestly think I might felt it, shrink it in the washing machine, and then cut it up and make like a project bag or something out of it, so that way it doesn't go totally to waste. It's even too big for my sister, my sister's very tall, like, so I thought it would fit her because the arms are so long, but no, it's still very frumpy. It's frumpy on her, it's frumpy on everybody. This one, however, is super cute on Edie, but I was a little bit misguided when I was picking my buttons. They're shell, I think they're abalone. Really, really, really pretty, but one just snapped in half. So I need to take these buttons off and put new buttons on. So that way Miss Maggie can wear it, because we need to get the kids all used to wearing their sweaters. So that's on my docket. What else? I wanted to show you one other really long-term project that I've set aside for a bit, but I'm really excited to pick back up soon. It is, I wanted to make sure I tell you the correct name. Apparently there's a sewing pattern in here with my knitting pattern. Whoops. It's an Andrea Mowry. I knew that. I can't remember if it's Brioche-licious or Brio. Here we go. The What the... I was totally off. It's the What the Fade. Here's the picture. It's with Andrea. And it is a huge triangle shawl. And of course it's faded. Andrea Mowry is very well known for her fades and teaching people how to basically paint with yarn in your work, which is really, really fun. And I used Huloco again. She had a Color Riot a while ago, more than a year ago, of, I'm totally blanking on the show. I don't know what's wrong with my brain tonight that I just can't figure it out. I don't know. 3 different babies of mom brain stacked up, one right after the other. Game of Thrones. Thank you. So Game of Thrones, I love Game of Thrones. Such a good show. If you haven't watched it, give it a try. There's a lot of violence and a lot of cursing, but fantasy and medieval, it's just so cool if you haven't heard of it, I'm sorry. So it was a Women of Game of Thrones Color Riot. So she picked 10 of the women and dyed colorways to coordinate for them that were inspired by them. And I just had to have it. As soon as she set it out, I bought it because I said, I don't know what I'm going to make out of this, but I love the colors. I'm not usually a super jewel tone person unless it's teal, a deep teal, but I just loved it. So I got that. And then several months later, within the last year, she had another one that was like Felix to something else, and it was her fading. And I thought, ooh, that will go really well with the Game of Thrones one. So I bought both. So I have been fading that one, working together. It's been in timeout, and this is the other side. So I'm on the brioche section. So it goes the brioche section to a certain point, and then the rest is garter and blending them together. So this is in a bit of a timeout because I missed an increase, and that was like the 3rd time that I'd missed an increase, and I was just like, ah! So it went in timeout for a bit. And then I needed the needles for another project, so that's why they're on needle keeper stoppers. So, but it's in here and it's on my brain, and I would like to finish it soon, because to have it during the fall, during all the gorgeous fall colors, and have this giant shawl wrapped, oh, so good. So that's on the docket. It'll be coming up soon. Again, the accountability thing, sharing here on the podcast helps me be like, oh yeah, you really should work on that, because they're going to be expecting some progress. Oh, hi Charlie. Want to come say hi? Come here. Charlie boy. Say hi, Charlie. So I guess that's really it for today. More adventures coming soon. More adventures. Thanks so much for watching. Happy knitting. Happy Monday. I hope you have a great week. Say bye, Charlie.